I've been using Claude Code every day for months now, and in the beginning, I was just sending basic prompts and still putting in a lot of manual effort to get the outcome that I wanted. But Claude actually has a specific setup that it's designed for, and most developers skip all of it, which drastically limits the output of your LLM. So in this video, I'll explain that exact setup, and by the end, you'll have something that actually remembers your project, follows your conventions, and catches problems before you do. We'll start with the CLAUDE.md file. This is the first file Claude Code reads when it opens a session in your project. So you can think of it as a briefing document. It's everything Claude needs to know to work in your codebase without you having to re-explain everything every time. We're going to use this example project to demonstrate creating a proper Claude setup. So most CLAUDE.md files that I see are either missing entirely, like they are in this example, or they're 300 lines of vague guidelines, which just causes Claude to mostly ignore it. So the best structure for this file is to treat it like you're onboarding a senior developer to the project. If a competent developer would already know it, it doesn't go in. But if it's context that they would need to know, then make sure you add it into your CLAUDE.md file. Now, this file lives in the root directory of the project, so we're going to create it now. You'll just type in claude.md, very similar to your README. Now, my typing's really bad and really slow, so I pre-typed everything so you don't have to sit through all of it here. I'm just going to be copying and pasting every section that I pre-wrote. So first we'll start with just the name, and we'll have that section defined. And what I found best for your LLM to be able to properly digest all the information in your CLAUDE.md file is to separate it into sections. So the first section we're going to have is our project identity. And I'll copy in the title of that section. And what this is saying what the repo does in about 2 sentences, what the stack is, and what it's not. And this is just giving some basic background information for your agent when it's just starting up with the project. So this is what I wrote, very simple, bare bones project that we have. So our MD file is going to be pretty short. However, you should remember that we're always optimizing to keep it as lean and short as possible. So remember to be as concise as you can here. Now, the next section we're going to have is the key commands. And this is basically the exact CLI commands that you run more than about once a week on the project. And all I have here is just a bulleted list of all of the commands with a very brief explanation. You can see short and succinct. That's the best way to write out this file. And then the next section is going to be conventions. So this is just naming, file structure, and patterns that this code base actually uses, and you want it to stay consistent throughout all of your code as well as your AI agent's code. Now, one more thing to keep this file as lean as possible is CLAUDE.md supports imports. So instead of pasting a long style guideline inline into this file, you can just reference it. So what we're going to do is create a conventions MD file in our docs. So here I'm just adding the @ to import our docs convention.md. If we go to my docs directory, it's empty. So all I'm going to do is create a new file inside it and name it conventions.md. Okay. And in my conventions MD file, it's just going to be explaining all the conventions that I want to stay consistent in this code base. So again, very short, all bullet point information. Keep it as succinct as possible when you're writing these files out. Okay, so back to our CLAUDE.md file. After conventions, we're going to add in hard stops. So what this section is just anything that Claude should never do without your explicit yes. And again, I just have short bullet points, and I'm going to copy and paste those in here. Okay. The next section, we're going to have some known gotchas. This is basically common errors that you run into or other agents have run into, and you just want to spell them out and spell out the solution. So your agent has that context to solve as fast and efficient as possible. Okay. And the very last section we're going to add into this file is links. So this is just going to be passed to files and docs that matter. And again, just very clear bullet point information. So now that we finished our CLAUDE.md file, we're going to talk about the 4-layer system for your Claude Code setup. So first is your CLAUDE.md file, which we just went over. It's a file that is always loaded in, and everything in it is part of the context on every single prompt with your agent. Then you have skills, which load on demand based on the agent's need at a given time. Then there's subagents, which are isolated Claude instances that have their own context. And then you have hooks that fire automatically at specific events and execute deterministic code. So each layer does something that others can't. The next layer we're going to build out is our skills. So your skills live in your .claude directory in your project. As you can see, this doesn't exist yet in our template. So we're going to add in a new folder, and it's going to be titled .claude. And within there, we're going to add another folder that is going to be for our skills. Now, this just defined our skills, but each skill is its own directory with a skill.md file inside it. And we're going to now create another folder, and that's going to be the name of the skill. So we're going to create a skill for this project specifically. And that's the name of the skill. And then within that, we're going to create a new file for our skill.md. Okay. Now, Claude automatically loads this file when it's relevant to what you asked, which is why they're all separated into their own directories within the skills folder. And the purpose of having skills is to give your agent additional context on a specific topic. So here we're going to talk about the triage domain for this triage board project. And all I'm going to do is, again, copy and paste what I already wrote. And here you can see I'm just naming the skill, having a short description, and then adding additional context, all separated with additional headers here. Now, this last line, if you hit a blocker not covered here, solve it and update this file for next time. This is critical because it's adding in a self-improving line. So Claude is now continuously updating the commands, and you don't have to worry about any maintenance here. Adding in a self-improving line is something that you should have at the end of every single skill that you write out. You can also add in additional context into this directory. So for example, we can add in a reference.md file. So I'll add in a new file here. And add in some reference information too. So again, all of this is just specific additional context that you want your agent to understand for a specific topic. Now, as you continue to write out skills, they're all going to be their own directories that live within this skills directory in your .claude folder within your project. So you can continue following the same pattern every time you want to create a new skill for your agent. Now that skills are covered, we're going to move on to building your first command. For this, we're going to build out a verify routine because most likely you'll be able to use this one often and in other projects, not just this example project that we have. Now, for commands, there's a very similar file structure as there is for skills. So this also lives in the .claude directory, and we're going to create a new folder in here titled commands. Okay, so our verify command is going to be a slash command. You'll be able to call it by just typing in / and then the name of the command inside your open Claude instance. So unlike skills where you have to create a new directory for every single new skill, for commands, it's just a single markdown file per command. So all we have to do is create a new file in the commands folder, and we're going to name it what we want the command to be. So we'll name this verify.md. Okay. And I'm just going to copy over again what I have from my verify commands. So it just has the name and the description. And then it has all of the steps that this command needs to execute. And then at the end, we have the same line for the agent to continuously improve the command itself. So as you can see, commands should also have self-improving instructions just like skills do. Now, you can just invoke this by opening up your Claude instance and typing /verify, and then it's going to execute all of these steps in order and complete the command. Now, as you want to continue to create more commands, it's going to follow the same steps, and you'll have multiple MD files in this commands folder. As you go on to create your own commands, the fastest way to build a new command is to do the workflow manually once with Claude watching. Then prompt it to export what it just did as a command. Make it generic, and then make sure that you add in a line defining self-improving instructions at the end. Claude Code even ships a run skill generator that captures your project's clean environment setup into a reusable per project skill, which is a great head start when you want to set up a dev server. So that covers everything for commands, and up next is writing hooks. So hooks should be used for all non-negotiables. Hooks are the layer that executes deterministic code around lifecycle events. So they're not instructions, they're code. And the reason they matter, unlike everything else in Claude Code, is that hooks can't hallucinate, they just run because it's purely code. So let's go through setting up a few hooks, and I'll talk about just some common helpful ones that you'll probably want in your own project. Hooks don't have their own folder like commands and skills, but they are still in your .claude directory. So I'm going to create a new file in the .claude directory, and we're going to name it our settings. Oops. Sorry, one more time. And we're going to name it settings.json. Okay. So this JSON file is going to define all of your hooks, and I'm just going to copy everything that I have here, and then we can read through what's actually happening. So all of these hooks here are lifecycle events that you should be able to easily port over to your project. First, we have session start, and all this does is load context for your agent. The next is your pre-tool use, which is used to inspect or block a command before it runs. And then you have your post tool use. So this is used to auto format after any edits in your code base. And then we have stop that fires at the end of a session to remind you or mechanically enforce that the verification should run on your code base. And then the last one is your post compact. And that is to re-inject critical instructions after the context gets compressed. So these are all pretty helpful hooks that are kind of generic that you can pretty easily, with a few edits, transfer over to your own code base. And one other thing to point out with hooks is all of these hooks that we just created live inside our triage board directory. So these are specific to a project. If you want to create global hooks, you can create them in your ~Claude directory and do the same setup with your settings.json file, but these hooks are going to be applied to every single Claude session that you have with any project on your computer, where the hooks that are specified within a project directory only apply to that specific project. That's everything with hooks. And the last piece that we'll go over is going to be subagents. So we're going to create a new directory in our Claude folder, and that is going to be titled agents. And in here, this is where all of your subagents will live. And this setup is similar to commands, where each subagent has its own MD file. So what we're going to be creating is a code review agent. So we'll do code reviewer.md. Now, what this does is it's using the subagents feature in Claude. So every agent here, when it's called, it's going to create an isolated Claude instance with its own system prompt, tool restrictions, and model selection. And also it's going to run separate from the main Claude Code session. So this is everything that we have for our code reviewer agent. The name field specifies the command that you're going to use to call the agent. So /code reviewer is what's going to spin up and start the agent. And it runs code as its own Claude instance. And we also specified the model here. It's going to run with its own Claude instance. And because the model is specified here, it's going to use that model. So here we specified Sonnet. No matter what any other AI agent is using throughout this code base, this subagent is always going to be using Sonnet. Now, remember this feature because this is going to be helpful in the future when we talk about the advisor strategy later on in this series, which saves you a lot of money on tokens. So keep a note of that. So it also has its own toolset, which is defined here. You can see it has no write access, and it has a focus preloaded system prompt that focuses on this agent's priorities. Now, this feature seems very similar to the verify / command that we created earlier, but it's actually pretty different. The slash command tells the main Claude instance what steps to follow, but a subagent spins up in a separate Claude instance with its own context and its own instructions, and it's isolated from the parent session's conversation history. So in practice, you'd invoke this subagent with /code reviewer, and it reviews the changes without the review logic polluting your main session context. Now, that covers pretty much everything for an optimized setup. Lastly, I'm going to go over 3 common mistakes just to make sure that you have all the information that you need to set up your own project. So the first mistake is having a CLAUDE.md file that's just too long. If it's over about 200 lines, then you're bloating every session. So cut the content drastically, and then import any additional information that you think is still necessary. Also, when you're reviewing your CLAUDE.md file, remove all procedural information, and instead put that into either a command or a skill. Now, the second common mistake is having commands and skills without a self-improving line. So make sure that you add it to everything you write so you don't have to worry about the maintenance piece. And lastly, the third common mistake is forgetting that hooks in the global setting apply across every single project. So make sure you test them before you rely on them. If you've been using Claude Code without any of this setup, everything in this series will make a lot more sense once you implement everything we just talked about. I'll link the starter template that we just used in today's video in the description. And the next video in this series covers prompting. So we'll discuss why most prompts break in production and the pattern that actually fixes them. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I'll be sure to help out where I can. See you in the next one.